Hi everyone! I am so excited for today's video. I think I say that at every video, but I'm super excited to talk to you about our topic for today, which is an influencer portfolio. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me or see me okay. Definitely let me know in the comments if you can hear me or see me. Amazing. Okay. And if you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay in the comments, and I will definitely respond to you later on. So today's video is about why it's so important to have an influencer portfolio, and I'm going to go over what is an influencer portfolio, why you need to have one, the 3 essential elements, and why having just a media kit is not enough, and also the biggest mistake influencers are making when pitching to brands. We have Kimberly. Hey Kimberly, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Let me know if you are watching so I can say hi. So my name is Gwen Lane. If we've never connected or met before, hello. I teach digital influencers how to get sponsored by brands. And today I'm so excited to talk to you about the influencer portfolio because no one's really talking about this right now. They pretty much have been kind of talking about the same thing over and over again with the media kit, but no one is talking about the 2 other elements in the portfolio. Sorry, there's a garbage truck that just happened to come on right when I go live. That always happens, right? So, does anyone here have an influencer portfolio? Let me know in the comments if you don't know what that is. Let me know. I kind of want to know what your gauge is. For those of you who have attended one of my master classes or a workshop or training, I have talked about influencer portfolio before, so maybe you do know what this is. That's great. Basically, it's a way to present yourself as an influencer in a professional way. So what are the 3 elements? So one is a media kit. So some influencers know what this is already. The second one is a rate card. And the third one is case studies, or what they call a pitch deck. And basically, I'm going to go over each one of these, but I'd love to know which one of these do you have already, and which ones do you not have or need to create. And don't worry if you don't have any of these. When I was just first starting out, I didn't even have a media kit, and when a brand reached out to me, I was like, what's a media kit? And I had to Google media kit and make one right away because they were considering me for a paid partnership and was not going to move forward without me sending my media kit. And so I had to make sure that I had to know how to do one and create one and then send them one, a good one, so it doesn't look all janky and something that I just put together in 10 minutes, right? So a media kit looks kind of like a one sheet. Sometimes influencers like to do multiple pages, like a presentation or a proposal, and it pretty much is like a resume. I call it a resume for a brand to see if they want to work with you. So it has all your stats on it, like your follower numbers, if you have a blog, what your blog statistics are, like how many visitors do you get a month, how many page views do you get a month. So all the statistics, so a brand doesn't have to go look you up. It's all in there for them, so it's easy for them to decide. It's also a place where you add your demographics, like how many % of your audience is women. So if a brand is trying to target women, they want to make sure that, you know, your audience is not 90% men, because then it wouldn't make sense for them to want to work with you. So I call it like a resume, but it has more numbers in it, and it does have an experience section, which I put brands I've worked with, and it has all the logos of the brands that I've worked with before. So it has your stats, anything about your other channels, and then brands you've worked with before and your audience demographics. Now, a rate card is basically what comes next. Some influencers package these together and it has like, here's who I am and here's how much I charge. Some people send a media kit first, and if people are interested, then they send the rate card. Sometimes brands ask for both the media kit and the rate card, so you want to be prepared when brands want to work with you. So Angela is here. She says, I need to create a rate card and case studies. Awesome. That's great. And that's fine if you don't have it yet. And that's why you're learning today what you need, right? So A rate card is just pretty much a menu, a price sheet of your services. So for example, if you have a blog, how much do you charge for a branded sponsored blog post? If you have a YouTube channel, how much do you charge for a dedicated video for a product? If you have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social channels you have, how much do you charge for all of those? And this is where I teach my students how to create packages. So it's not just one-off posts, and you can maximize the revenue that you receive from a brand sponsorship by creating those packages. And sometimes brands also want to see it and see what it looks like. You can offer like a great package with a lot more value for a higher dollar amount, so that, you know, you can just increase your business and increase the revenue that you get from that sponsorship. So the third essential element of an influencer portfolio is a case studies or a pitch deck. Now, this is something super extra that a lot of influencers don't do, and is seriously going to put you set you aside or apart and make you stand out from every other influencer who just has no media kit, or only has a media kit, or only has the first two. So if you want to seal those brand deals, one thing that you could do is create a pitch deck or case studies where you show the work that you've done before. And this is why it's so important for influencers right now who are just starting out or are building up their following to start working with brands right away, so that you can show them previous work that you've done. So for example, if you've worked with a travel company before and you posted it on your blog, you did an Instagram post, you did a Facebook thing, you did Instagram stories, so you would do screenshots of those with the analytics on this pitch deck so you can show examples of your previous work. So one example that I like to use is, for example, an architect or an artist or a designer. So usually when they apply for a job, they have a resume, right? They don't have a rate card because, you know, usually salary is something they talk about once they have an offer, but they do have a portfolio, which they have they have like drawings that they've done for previous buildings or previous clothing designs that they've done. Video editors have this too, right? They have reels and trailers so that you could see their editing work and things like that. So as influencers, we should have that as well. And this is when I say, like, it's not enough to just have a media kit, because they want to see what brands have you worked with before, and they'll see an overview of it if you have the logos on your media kit, but not really if you don't show them like, okay, I did this really amazing shoot with this brand, and this is the creative eye that I have and the creative perspective, and this is why I should work with your brand. So that is why I think that it's so important to have an influencer portfolio, because brands are going to love it. One, because they're marketers, usually the people you're talking to, and they love pitch decks, and it just lays it out so simple and easy for them to make a decision if they want to work with you. So does that make sense on why you shouldn't just have a media kit, and why you should have all three essential elements: a media kit, a rate card, and case studies? So why should you have one of these? So brands will ask you usually for a media kit if they reach out to you. Some brands will, some brands won't, but it's better to be ready if they do. What if it's a huge brand and they want your media kit right away? Usually they send out offers to multiple influencers, so the people who respond quickest and the people who present themselves in the best way are going to move forward to the next stage. So let's talk about this like an interview process, right? So the interview, they're going to select, 100 candidates. And then from there, from the first initial thing, they're going to narrow it down to the next 20. And maybe their budget only calls for one influencer or 3 or 5. So you want to make sure you are wanting to make sure that you move on to the next phase of selection. So you should definitely send your portfolio when you're pitching to brands. Don't just send an email like, hey, hi, I do travel and lifestyle. Go to my Instagram. Here's the link. Like, that doesn't provide them any value. It requires them to do some work and do some research instead of like, here you go. Here's a little bit about me. Here's my media kit. If you want to see my audience and my stats, I want to work with your brand, and I've worked with these other brands before. You could look at my case studies deck, and then you could say, say, if you're interested, I'll send you my rate card, or you can have your rate card in there already. It's really up to you. It's a personal preference. It will help you stand out from everyone else, and it makes things easier for the brands. And it really sets the tone for a partnership, because brands, their number one thing besides like authenticity, aesthetic, and having the right audience, they really want someone easy to work with. And it shows that you're easy to work with because you've already have your stuff put together and they didn't have to ask you for anything. And so I feel like this is a big thing for brands. They want influencers who are easy to work with, and this kind of sets the tone for that. So does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if you're watching. Hey, let me know if you have an influencer portfolio or if you need to create one, if you already have a media kit, and if this makes sense to you as far as creating something that's more presentable and more professional and put together so that you can start getting those sponsorships. Okay, so what are the biggest mistakes influencers are making when pitching to brands? So first of all, I already talked about it, not having an influencer portfolio. So if you're pitching to brands and you're not sending them anything, I think that it's going to be really hard to hear back from them, or they might ask you for some more, but it's an extra step. So instead of waiting for them to ask you for something, it's so much easier to already send it to them and have them make a decision based on that first impression. Because as you guys know, we're in the digital world, and when you see an email, that person could be the most amazing person ever, but it doesn't come across in the email. It doesn't translate. We all know how that is. We all get emails that like, who is this? This person just sent me like a quick note and wants me to work with them, but I don't even know anything about them. So this way, it's like a great thing to do. Okay. Asking for something rather than providing value first. So a lot of influencers reach out to, for example, hotels for a free hotel stay or for a free media stay for coverage. But what they say is like, hi, my name is Gwen. I'm a travel and lifestyle influencer. I want to stay at your hotel for free. Here's my Instagram. And that doesn't really translate, or it's not a great offer for them, right? So for them, like, you have to offer something. So for me, it would be something, this is an example of something I would do. I would say, okay, I want to stay at this hotel. I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to tell them, hey, I want to, I would love to stay and review your hotel so that I can share it with my audience of millennial women in LA who love to do staycations on the weekend. And your property has been one that they would love to stay at. And I'd love to document my stay through my Instagram channel. Here's the link, some Instagram stories. Here's some examples of Instagram stories I've done for other hotels and other travel partnerships. And it'd be great if I do a Facebook Live, because I love doing Facebook Lives. And here, it's basically, I'm telling them what value am I providing to them first before I say, and then can I stay at your hotel for free, or will you want to pay me for a sponsorship? So it's all about communication. And this is something that I teach my students in my program, #sponsored, how to communicate with brands when you're pitching, and also how to create an epic influencer portfolio so that it's easy for the brands to say yes. Now, those are the two biggest mistakes influencers are making when pitching to brands. So definitely not having an influencer portfolio and not providing value first and asking first instead of offering. So it's the same thing, right? I'm still asking for a free hotel stay, but it's just the switch, the quick little shift of, instead of, doing a I want this, you say I can offer you this, and it's received in such a better way than, oh, I want to stay at your hotel for free. So does that make sense to you guys? Nessa is here. Hey there, I miss your videos. Haven't seen one of you. Look very pretty. Oh, thank you so much. Nice to see you. And then Angela, yes, it makes a lot of sense. What kind of packages do you usually offer to the brand? So Angela, this is specific to the influencer. It depends what you have. So you kind of have to look at your inventory on what channels do you have to offer. And I teach this inside my program. I teach pricing and I teach how to create packages to maximize your revenue. If you are interested in getting on the wait list for my program, you can comment with waitlist in this video and I'll send you a link to that. Kimberly says, wow, I've never thought of that. Thank you, game changer. Awesome, Kimberly, amazing. So that is what I have for you as far as an influencer portfolio. Do you guys have any other questions? Put it in the comments and I'll be going through this video comments later on and responding to you guys. If you haven't joined my free group for digital influencers, go to the Spark Society for Digital Influencers Facebook group. You just type in Spark Society. It usually shows up. I'll also put the link here in this video and we can continue the conversation there. This video will be posted there, so just go ahead and put your comments in there and I will make sure to respond later on. If you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay in the comments below. I'd love to know who's here and who watched this video. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.